Hello, everyone. I'm Aram da Silva, president of the Icla da Silva Foundation. I want to thank all of you for joining us live today here on Facebook, as well as YouTube and LinkedIn. Today, we have a very special guest, Sandra Camponogara, and we'll be having a conversation about the book that she published recently. But before we bring Sandra on, I wanted to invite you to be um, involved with our conversation. Please use the comments on Facebook or the chat on YouTube or LinkedIn to participate with us. Feel free to ask questions during the conversation or make any comments that you wish. I love to hear from you if you feel comfortable and if you can share where you're connecting from or how you are connected with Icla da Silva Foundation. Now, please share with us if you are a patient, transplant recipient, if you're a friend of the foundation. We'd love to hear from you. So, for those who are joining us now, feel free to use the chat to ask questions or make comments. So, I'd love to start today by giving you an overview, some introduction about, for those who does not know the foundation well yet, about the foundation. So Icla da Silva Foundation, we have our main program that is Icla Cares. And our mission is to save lives of patients with disease whose only cure is a bone marrow cord blood transplant by providing them with emotional, logistical, and financial support to remove barriers to transplant. And through the Icla Cares, that's how we fulfill our mission. Our goal is to remove financial barriers, especially as a patient is going through a bone marrow transplant. As you probably know, patients usually receive treatment for a number of years until a match is found or a transplant is scheduled. And at that time, it's a very critical for the family. There's a lot of expenses. One of the parents has to leave work. They need help with caregivers. And that's where expenses increase. And that's where we came and we partner with dozens of social workers throughout the country to provide that financial assistance to patients. So if we always can find more information in our website, and I'll provide more information after we have the conversation with Sandra, where how can you get more involved. So I would love to invite Sandra to join us now for our conversation. Sandra, please join us. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Iram. Thank you very much for inviting me to your space and opening this platform to have this conversation today.
No, it's a pleasure. And now we come such a long way, so many years ago when we first met. I'm so glad that we kept in touch, and I'm so glad to have you back. And I will not now waste any other time, another minute here to start our conversation by asking you if you can tell me share a little bit about Marcelo and his diagnosis.
Yeah, well, Marcelo was a very active, athletic person. And when he was 47 years old, he was diagnosed with ALL, which is acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Obviously, we were not expecting such a diagnosis on someone who was apparently a very healthy and active person. Um, but as things turned out, that's the diagnosis that he had. And it came totally as a shock to us. We were not prepared for it. For us, being sick had been maybe a flu here and there, and that was it. And all of a sudden, we are faced with this monstrous diagnosis, and it was really a shock for us. And that was in 2008.
Oh yeah, no, it seems like yesterday. I remember in our conversation, and then
Yeah.
before I go on, tell me a little bit more on how the Icla da Silva Foundation helped Marcelo and your family.
Well, I mean, in so many ways, I remember coming back from the doctor when he gave Marcelo this diagnosis, and we were so shocked and desperate. I mean, we didn't know what to do. So my first thing was to call my good friend Miriam and tell her, what had happened. And she says, you need to call Iram at the Icla da Silva Foundation. So you were my next call. And at that point, I felt that I was talking to someone who had walked this path many, 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 many times over through, all the patients that the foundation has helped over the years. And I felt grounded and, felt that I had the guidance and the company that I so desperately needed at that point, because we didn't know what to do, what to expect, where to go. And all along from that July 1st, 2008, until today, the foundation has always been there for us, offering guidance, resources, emotional support. When we didn't know who to call, where to go, you were there to give us the information that we needed. And it was instrumental in getting us through this very, very difficult path of 8 years of illness, going through the transplant and all the post situations that came after. And the foundation was always there for us. And that meant a lot for me and for my family. We have made lifelong friends through the foundation, with other families that were going through similar situations. And the bond and appreciation and gratitude that we have for the foundation is forever. It has really meant, they say, a friend is in need is a friend indeed. And you were there when we needed you most, you and the foundation. So you have true fans here for your work, a great admiration for what you do and all the families that you help.
No, thank you, Sandra, for those kind words. And now you mentioned some people. Now I'm glad to see that Miriam is here with us today, and she sent a message, hi from New York. I'm glad that you made that call. It took so many people, so many amazing people to join us, through the foundation, through your family, your friends and friends. Now, Anne is here. Thank you. She says, hello, thank you for this. So many people are joining us and joined us back then. So it takes a lot, and we were able to respond to your need. So I
Yeah,
want to
thank
thank
you for that.
everyone. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. And again, feel free to use the chat to send comments, send your questions. I love to hear from you. Feel free to share if you are a patient, if you are a friend of the foundation, friends with Sandra. We love to hear from you through the comments and chat. So Sandra, it has been since 7 years since Marcelo has passed, correct? And
Yes.
what made you decide to share his experience and publish the book now?
Well, all along through that process, after he passed, many people close to me told me that I was handling it well, that why don't I, write a book and share my experiences. But more important than that, at least from my perspective, was that at this point in time, after 7 years, I wish I knew then, a few years ago, what I know now. So I felt that it would be selfish on my end not to share with other people that may be earlier in the process or still going through this heavy period of grief, and giving them some resources, my experience. I'm not a therapist, but this is my own personal experience and what I have learned, what worked for me, and just to give people a hope that there is things that can be done to get out of this, and get out of this grief process and enjoy life again. Even though the person that we loved is no longer physically with us, but we can always recreate a new life for us, based on our needs and our wants, and still be happy and with joy and gratitude.
Yeah,
So
beautiful.
that's what inspired me to write the book.
Wow, beautiful. And can you share with us what you have learned from this experience?
Yeah, it's pain. Iram is a great master. You learn a lot, when you go through these periods. But one of the most relevant things, I think, is that you can continue to honor the person that you love and still live your life fully,
Hmm.
enjoy and appreciate joy and all the beauty that surrounds us and the people that are around us,
Hmm.
rather than staying in our cocoon and feel sorry for ourselves. You can go out there and enjoy life and still honor the person. And the other thing is that keep our heart open and let love in. I think that that is very important, and I don't mean that only in the romantic way, but love in all its forms, whether it's love for life, love for new things, love for the people that are present right now in your life, love for whatever things you want to try new in this new stage in your life. But let love in, make that part of your life. And I think those are the two most important things that I have learned.
No, beautiful. Sandra, if it's okay, we'd love to get some. I have some questions here from the audience, if it's okay.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
sure.
and ask, how did you cope with the memory of the last breath or the last kiss?
Mm. Well, that is something that will stay with me for the rest of my life. It's what I have found that helped me is to turn all of that pain into gratitude. So when I think of Marcelo, in my case, I try to think of all the blessings that I have because he existed, because he was in my life, because he was, a loving person who, helped me raise two wonderful kids. Uh, so I try to think of that in terms of gratitude more than in terms of the sick days or the days that that person was not well. Um, so I try to sort of replace that feeling of sadness with the feeling of gratitude because they were part of my life, a significant part of my life.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yes, again, if anyone has any question or comments, feel free to use the comments or the chat. We'll be happy to answer any question. And Sandra, do you have a recommendation for people managing their grief after the loss of a loved one?
Well, it's hard to give a recommendation because there is not a one size fits all for these kind of things. Everybody has an experience that is different. But at the end of the day, there are some common elements in grief that is common for our human experience, whether it's a husband or a child or a sibling. We all go through similar emotions. So what I would say that helped me is to focus on what we have, not on what we lack.
Mhm.
When I think of all the blessings that I have today in my life, all the loving people, all the friends that have supported me unconditionally throughout all of this period, that helped my kids, um, gratitude, for things like the foundation for being there and helping all of us, make it and survive this thing. So when you put your attention and your focus and your energy in what you have, it's more bearable. The fact that there are certain things that you wish you had, but you don't. Like I wish I would have Marcelo here sitting with me and chatting with you, but I don't. But instead of focusing on that I don't have, I'm focusing on this beautiful conversation that we are having, on the things that we are sharing, and hopefully will help some friends listening right now. So that is one thing. Another things, stay social, stay active, try new things, feel some excitement for something. If you want to try something that you've never done, if you feel like bungee jumping, I don't know, whatever it is that will bring some emotion into your life, just go ahead and do it. Try to feel good things, new things. Yeah, and then again, as I was saying before, let that pain morph into gratitude. And as the more that you can accomplish that, the better you will feel. So those would be the things that help me the most, and hopefully it can help some of the friends listening.
No, definitely. And like you said, no, you're not a psychologist. I'm not a psychologist too. And um, everyone deals with grief differently, right? As I lost my sister Ikla now 30 years ago. And, sometimes people ask me, how do you deal with grief? What do you do to, not suffer, and since she passed away through my high school, college, I always have her in my mind, and my involvement with the foundation. I think it's one way that I'm dealing with grief is to help others. All the memories that I have of her, her smile and her that determination to help others. Her dream of starting a foundation to help others. That's exactly what I see. How I deal with grief, and for 30 years that I have been involved with the foundation and this work that we do, that's exactly I still dealing with. But I find
Mhm.
in a way that we can, through her, my memories of her, how can I make others also keep a smile and keep moving on and supporting those who are in need. That's and grief can be not only about losing someone, but sometimes just by having a diagnosis of cancer or any other life-threatening disease, it's very difficult to deal and to cope with. So
Mhm.
it's a complex issue, but it's important for us, like you said, for us to talk, have a social life, look at, be grateful for, all the things that we learn and memories that we have from that person. So, and thank you. And I look forward to hear more, from you. So, I think we have some questions here. Um, so I know that Miriam said it's a remarkable story told in a compassionate and respectful way. Yes, for sure. And then and said, "What would you say to someone whose loved one lost last wish is to die in the home, but knowing the death in the home will cause trauma afterwards each time the family sees the place and the person die?" Um,
Yeah, about dying in the home. Um, Yeah, I mean, many people have that wish, not to be in an institution or in a hospital and to die at home. Um, I don't know for everybody, and again, I'm not trying to be a psychologist. I'll tell you what I did. My husband did not die at home; he died in the hospital. But soon after he passed, I felt the need that I needed a new environment for myself. I was living in New Jersey for the prior 29 years. And then I decided that I needed to do something radically different. And I did. So I moved to Florida. And I haven't looked back. I like where I live. I feel that this is a new environment for me. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to move out of state. This is what worked for me. But when you have someone die in the home, if that will bring the people that remain in the family sorrow and constant grief, and that will prevent you from moving forward, I would suggest considering changing, the place. I don't
Mhm.
know. That's what I would do anyway.
Mhm. No, thank you, Sandra. And I want to go a little bit deeper into the book, if it's okay. Now,
Yeah.
as one of the last questions, unless there are more questions in the chat. I know the books I'll share here getting a lot of fantastic reviews in Amazon. A beautiful tribute, an emotional journey through joy and grief that ultimately inspire us to live and love more fully. Beautifully written love story. I start reading the book. I'm very slow reader, so but it's very easy to read. I mean, really enjoying. It's a beautiful beginning. I learned so much about you and my father since early ages in life. It is definitely a beautiful love story. It's beautiful, meaningful, practical. So grateful for this book. A must read for anyone who's mourning the loss of a loved one. Um, Beautiful comments, 5 stars all the way through. I would love to you to briefly, somewhat, I won't say summarize, but in your own words, what is can you tell us about the book before we end our conversation today, and tell a little bit more about how the person can um, download the book. We share a link with someone, but tell us about a little bit on your own words about the book, and then if you can share too, what you offering to them, that'll be amazing.
Yeah, well, the book, simply put, is my love and loss story, and more importantly, what I learned from this experience. And I put the last chapter, chapter 12, is sort of a summary of, bullet points of things, practical things that worked for me. Again, I'm not a psychologist. I'm just saying my experience, and hopefully that can also be, serve other people. The book is available in Amazon, and it's available in ebook or Kindle, paperback, which is this one. This is paperback, and the same one for the hard copy. So it's available in the three formats.
Wow.
And today I'm offering the ebook for free. You can download it, go about as you were about to purchase it. Same thing, but the price will be zero. Even if you don't have Kindle Unlimited or anything, it will be free until midnight Pacific time today. That's for the ebook. The paperback and the hard copy are available for purchase like any other day. But I also, you mentioned about the reviews, and the reviews, I am humbled by the reviews that people have been posting. Many people have also told me, personally, that the book is helping them, and I want this to be available to more people, the book, regardless whether they can buy it or not. That's why I have it for free today for the Friends of the Isla da Silva Foundation. But for those of you who want to put a review on Amazon and send me via email to camponogara.author@gmail.com a copy of your review, I will mail you the paperback copy. I already got them, so I'm ready to mail them to you. All I would need is just a printout of the review that you put in Amazon. Just email it to me at the Amazon that is at the address that is on the screen, and I will email it. Just send me an address so that I can mail this through the post office. I want more people to have access to the book because I think it can help others. As I said at the beginning, I wrote it with a lot of love, a lot of respect for my husband, and also for all the people that are grieving someone significant in their life. So I want you to have the book, whether it's the free ebook version today, or if you send me a review, I'll send you the paperback so that you can have it for free. So everybody can have it.
Yeah, fantastic. And I know we put on the chat on Facebook the email that you can send that picture of the review. So, and thank you, Sandra, for that. Um, I also wanted to share that we will be happy to answer any question at the moment. Miriam says, thank you for your generosity. I am very proud to have a copy myself in my hands and nicely dedicated to Sandra. I want to thank Sandra for also re, re, no, mentioning the foundation in the book on the acknowledgments, myself. It's
Sure.
something that I have it very close to my heart, and I am very proud of you, Sandra, for putting this book together. I know it's a lot of work. It's difficult now sharing the story, but thank you. And any
You're
last
welcome, Ira.
any last message that you have for
Well,
everyone?
I think for me in general, I think that grief is always surrounded by these negative, feelings and emotions, which are so natural when we go through a period of trauma. Uh, but I want to tell a different story. I want to also say, yes, grief is not fun for anybody, and it's a process. But there is always the opportunity of growth, of personal growth that comes associated with many of these situations. And also the opportunity to, again, be happy. Yes, in a different way, maybe not with the plans that we have and the dreams that we have that will no longer be, but with new plans, with new things, with a new life for ourselves. So don't lose sight of that there is life after death, after the death of someone who has been so significant in our lives. And I want more people who are going through this very, very difficult process to have hope, to be inspired, to move forward, and to find the beauty in life, in the new things that they can still accomplish, in all the things that are to come, and to enjoy the people that they have around them. So that would be my message for everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sandra, so much. I really appreciate now this conversation. I encourage everyone to now download the book today and make sure they write a review and send you an email to read. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank
And
you so
I
much.
think,
Thank you, Iram, very much for this opening this forum for all of us to talk about grief and to discuss the hope that there is beyond the cloud of grief.
no, thank you for accepting and having this conversation with us that is so needed. So thank you very much, Sandra, and
You're welcome.
I will be in touch soon.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank you
joining.
everyone for joining. I just want to now share with you a little bit about those of you who are interested and wants to learn more about the organization, please feel free to visit our website at www.icla.org. As I said, we provide financial assistance to patients who are receiving a transplant, and we rely on individuals like you. I want to thank all our donors that provides the financial assistance. And if you feel that you want to get involved, please, you can make a donation on the website. We really encourage and invite you to become a monthly donor. It can be $5, $10. This will make a big impact on the lives of patients receiving a transplant, as we provide them with meals while they are in the hospitals for the family and caregivers. Even for the siblings or other children that are home, we provide also groceries. So any dollar amount will help. Become a monthly donor. $5, $10, $50 will definitely help. If you make a contribution, there are a number of employers that matches your contribution. So make sure you ask your employer to match your donation. And if you want to partner with us as a volunteer, you can definitely become a fundraiser. We can partner with you. There are many different ways that you can invite your friends, even dedicating your birthday at Facebook, and invite your friends to donate to their foundation. So I want to thank you, and I look forward to receiving message from you. Again, if you want to become a monthly donor or make a donation, you can do so by texting the word ICLA to 91999 from your phone, or directly on our website. Feel free to do so, and we thank you on behalf of all the patients. And I want to thank all of you for joining us today. We're definitely making a difference in the patients' lives, and together we will save more lives. So thank you all for joining today. Hopefully you enjoy, and I'm sure we will be in touch again very soon. Thank you.